And last time, one more thing that I did is I gave n number of mock interviews. Every place, wherever I used to go, I used to give mock interviews only.
Tips for those who want to increase their marks in interview and they are stuck.
If you remember, sir, earlier I did not used to smile also when I'm talking in camera. I used to carry only single expression.
And I remember that
The time between mains and interview should not be given away as a free pass. Whatever effort that you're putting for mains, the similar kind of effort you have to put in for interview also.
So ultimately, the people who are building their foundation, Ashwin is saying exposure is important, learning is important.
Himanshu sir played a key role in this improvement. He also had created a group for sharing information.
Ashwin, we have seen that there is a huge jump in your interview marks or from 143 to 190. That is indeed a high jump or congratulations for this high jump. And I'm very sure इस high jump के पीछे बहुत ज़्यादा मेहनत हुई होगी. And I know you personally and we have discussed many times. So I know you have put in a lot of efforts. But I want to know from you, how was it possible? ये कैसे possible हुआ that you saw this shift and this jump?
Sir, if I remember my 2021 attempt, where I got one of the lowest scores in that year. If that was one of the lowest in the top 300 or 400, I was the only one with that interview score. So that year, I think there is some lack of confidence in me. I thought ki this exam needs something more, which I am lacking, or I did not have that self-belief in me. So that clearly is visible in the part of me and also in my answer telling ability. So that is one thing that I was lacking at that point of time. And second thing is that in some parts of the DAP, I did not prepare well. There are some gaps. For example, I did not know the day of my interviews is celebrated as Museum Day. So these are very silly mistakes that we should not never do, that no one thinks of doing also. And apparently the day that I went to interview, I was being interviewed by Cultural Under Secretary, which is like a double down. So these are some small things that I did not miss this time. And last time, one more thing that I did is I gave n number of mock interviews. Every place, wherever I used to go, I used to give mock interviews only. And at the end of it, I thought ki I did not learn anything. I was just giving. I did not improve upon the way I'm speaking, or I did not even improve upon the things that I should learn. So this time, I should openly say that I did not even give one mock interview also. The only one mock interview that I gave in the entire preparation is with my batchmates. So there are some 5 batchmates who sat in a proper board setup and they asked bounce questions. So that is one thing that I did this time. And the third thing that I did is this is one of the resource rich thing that I did is that in your batch there are some people who got extraordinary marks in interview. There are two kinds of people in your batch after getting selected. One who is a first timer and getting high marks, and there is a second one who are in service and getting high marks. So the perspective of both these people are very different. The first timers are because of their bubbling energy and the way to learn more. So that is what gives them more marks. So in our case, that ship had sailed. So for me, it is the people who are in service. So I asked some people in service who had improved. So there are two of my batchmates who are in account service, and they seen the clear jump. They also had some 30 mark jump. So one thing that I asked them what you did is they are like, you should know your part of the syllabus or your part very well. They learned about their accounts and most of the questions are around the same only. So for me also, they asked the questions on revenue service. So that is one differentiating factor. And this time I prepared my keywords very efficiently, sir. For example, I still remember once I'm traveling in a bus. So one of my batchmates asked, say some 5 things which is very good in your Andhra Pradesh or 5 things that are very best. So I randomly said some 5 answers. Then they picked up the other aspects. So I am very happy to say that the same question was asked in the interview and answered the same way. And the follow-up questions are also similar.
Wow.
So these kind of things I think had pushed my marks.
Very good, very good. And indeed, no doubt that your practice and your efforts and the inputs which you have got has resulted into this good marks of 190. But there would be many students, as you already told, that first timers होते हैं. So what will be your tips for those students, those aspirants who are appearing for the interview for the very first time?
Sir, I genuinely believe that the energy that you're carrying in the first time is unparalleled. You'll be very much excited to go to UPSC Bhavan. The energy is very high. I have seen 3 interviews, but my interview in 2020, that was one of the best interview experience that I ever had. I did not have any doubts. I did not have anything inhibitions. I was like, I'll go out and talk because I was stuck in a room for more time. I know my knowledge. I need to share with someone. This is the attitude that I went in with. So there I could get good enough, decent enough score. But apart from that, you definitely need to work upon your DAF. So every aspect of your DAF is one key word. Even though they did not come directly, somewhere or other you can substantiate. So that is second thing that is there. Third thing is the time between mains and interview should not be given away as a free pass. Whatever effort that you're putting for mains, the similar kind of effort you have to put in for interview also. In mains, you're writing your analytical skills, but in interview, you have to talk more. So one thing that you used to say to me n number of times is to record your videos while talking for answers and see your facial expressions, so you can improve upon the same. And if you remember, sir, earlier I did not used to smile also when I'm talking in camera. I used to carry only single expression.
And I remember that you were hesitant enough to send your voice note as well.
Yes.
In your initial first attempt.
So those are the things that these inhibitions that you have to overcome whenever there is an opportunity, and you need to. That is a way you can build some confidence for future. And don't. One more thing that you used to always say is that think your final interview as a mock interview only, and they are your normal coffee table discussions where you'll be bound some answers. If you know, you say, or you don't know, you say that you'll learn upon or you read upon later. So this honesty is also one more thing that they will check rather than bluffing.
Now, tips for those who want to increase their marks in interview and they are stuck in some range like 160, 170, or they are stuck in range, because last time also we have seen many students, they come to us for interview marks. तो उनका एक रहता है कि सर हम स्टक हो गए हैं, हमारी ये रेंज हमें बढ़ानी है. So what will be your advice? What will be your tips?
So generally, me as an aspirant, after attending 3 interviews, what I have seen is the pattern of questions that they are asking you is more or less the same, the line of questioning. So first thing, if you have an experience earlier of interview, you know that these are the questions that are going to come for you as an aspirant. So that you have to improve upon. The answer that you are told is not good. That's why you got some less marks. So you have to improve your answer there. So that is one part of the question that is there, sir. Second part is that whatever knowledge you are having, try to link it with the field level, or how can it be used in some way or the other. And third thing is never ever criticize the government policy. You can show the lacunas or some of the issues that are there in government policy, but outright don't reject it. That is the wrong thing to do. So this is a very not a good attitude that they pick up on from. So these are the 3 things. And one more thing I generally believe is that every aspirant who is going to interview should at least read the code of conduct of government rules or civil services rules once. So the last 2 times I did not do, but because of the FC that I've done and the IRS training, I got the idea. So these are the CCS rules. So these are what they're expecting from you. So when you're trying to say the answers, you try to fit in your answer within these rules only, because you cannot break the rules that are there. You can be innovative in that fixed dimension, but try to fix the outer layer.
That's very important message, because many times we find it very hard to balance कि government की जो opinion है उसके साथ कैसे balance करें, and how to put our opinion which is not going against the government or constitution के against हो. So this is very important tip which you have given, and indeed it will help our aspirants. Now last question is Ashwin, that there are many students with us also who are preparing and who are aspiring for civil services, and they are still in their college days. They're still building their foundation. We also tell them to work on their personality. हम उनको tips भी देते हैं, homeworks भी देते हैं, we give them activities, and we tell them what all they should do, चाहे वो hobby को लेके हो, exposure हो personality की. But I want to know from you, because you come from a background, you have a lot of exposure. So what will be your advice to them, that especially those who are aspiring and they are in foundation stage, what all they should do for their personality development, which will help them in the interview?
One thing that I should say is that don't make it a conscious effort sometime in personality, because in one of the other experiences, these are all lessons that you are learning. So subconsciously, we are all learning our personality only. So it is evolving from day to day. So there is nothing much to do consciously, but just go with a free, open mind that I am learning something new today. This is one thing. Second thing, the conscious effort that you can put in the areas. As you said, one is the hobby development. You can learn some other hobby. You can that is one way you can develop your personality. And the other thing is that you can take up some roles. If you are taking up any role in your college life, it can be as small as your class leader, or being the head for some cultural event. So these roles will give you one perspective of how people will behave and what are the difficulties that are there to manage. So you'll have a first-hand exposure key. These are the issues that are high. So not that I have done everything right, so that the things will fall in place. But there will be some of the other unexpected exigency that is coming up. So you will be molded for that. So if you have opportunities to take for leadership roles wherever it is possible, try to go and grab it. If even you do it miserably, it is a learning experience for you subconsciously.
So ultimately, the people who are building their foundation, Ashwin is saying exposure is important, learning is important. Don't have this closed mindset कि आप कॉलेज जा रहे हो या कहीं भी हो, सीखना है. Learning is important. Perfect hona is not, perfection is not what we are aiming or you should aim. We should always aim learning. So thank you, Ashwin. Thank you for your time. And I'm very sure that through this interview, the people who are going to face the interview, be it the people who want to improve the rank or the first timers or who are aspiring, they will get a lot of perspective. Just आपको follow करना है. Whosoever is listening, just follow them. Definitely you will also see the light and you will also come out with a flying color. So thank you, Ashwin, for your time, and thank you for all these tips and advices.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Himanshu sir played a key role in this improvement. He also had created a group for sharing information regarding anthropology also. And even during the interview guidance program, sir had created a group and used to actively share various current affairs for the phase between mains and interview. So for all those initiatives, thank you sir, thank you so much, and all the best for your future endeavors.